All right, let's do a quick rundown. We've got everything up front that you need to know about. You got your chains. It's good to make a little basket where it crosses over at least one time before you hook it up to the car. You've got this is your trailer brake control. So you want to have it hooked up to the frame of the truck. Don't have it too tight, because if it pulls out, then it'll lock the brakes, and that won't be good. So this is for emergencies, basically. So have it be a little loose, hooked up to your truck. Let's see, you've got here, so if this is the ball of your hitch, ball goes up in here, lock it in place, and then this is going to go across and secure it through this hole. And the key for this little guy, because this is a lock, is this big black one. It's the biggest one we've got. And when your trailer's not in use, you can always pop this up and lock it in place, just so it's one extra deterrent from any criminals or anything. But that's pretty rare unless you're out in a really scary area. This is the 7-way plug. I do have an adapter for older trucks and cars in the toolbox that I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, I'm sure you're probably riding something a little more modern, so this is good, because then all your lights and backup camera and everything are going to work well. All right, let's move. Keep going around the outside tour. This is your backup camera. You can suction it to your windshield and then plug it into just a 12-volt adapter. For it to work, you need to have the plug hooked up to the vehicle on, and the vehicle you need to be either in your parking brakes or your headlights. The automatic headlights will not power your stuff there. So if you have it on automatic headlights, you are not going to have the lights and the brakes on the trailer and all that. So when you hook that up, flip your lights to parking lights during the day or to headlights. That way you can get full power to everything, and you'll know it's working because you'll see the backup camera pop on. I've got a tool bag here, lots of small little tools and everything if you feel like you need anything. There's a tire pressure monitor in there, so tires are good. They're between 60-65 psi, which is where you want them, but if for some reason you saw them getting low, you can always check and refill them. I've got the registration in here. It's good to keep this in here so you don't lose it, but when you're going over the border or something, if you want to grab it and put it in the car, go for it. If you want to take a picture of it, go for it. I've got this drill, and I got a bit on here, and I also have a hand crank one here, and these are for the stabilizer jacks in the back, so we'll talk about those in a minute. But over here we've got your battery disconnect. So now that I'm not hooked up to a truck, I had it plugged in because I just wanted to show you the board, but normally I'm going to have it unplugged if I'm not using the trailer for long periods of time, so I don't drain the battery with the fridge and the little systems in there. But for right now, we'll keep that on. When you hook up to a campsite, this is going to be where you hook up city or fresh tank fill. Fresh tank fill will just fill your 37-gallon freshwater tank, and you will know it's full because once it gets tippity top, you're going to hear water dumping out of the bottom, not from these guys, but on the other side, that white one way across. So definitely pay attention to that, because you don't want to get your campsite all soaked. But what I like to do is keep it on city water when I'm in campsite, because then you'll get better water pressure for the faucet and all that stuff, and you don't have to run the water pumps and everything. Let's see, anything else here? Oh yeah, you can run it through this little hide hole here. Comes out the bottom. That way you can shut this whole door when it's not in use. All right, let's move on to the next. So, wheels chalked. Anytime you're on any kind of inclined surface, don't forget to do that, and don't forget to take them out before you start towing. That's really critical. Over here, you've got your gray and your black tank exits. So you pop the cap off. Only open those when you're ready, but I've got like a slinky hose and everything in here, so if you feel like you're going to be doing a lot of showers and stuff like that, you're probably not going to fill the black tank, but you might want to dump it once while you're at camp. Yeah, you want to hook up the slinky and then hook it up to their plumbing area, and you dump everything. I always dump one at a time. Dump the black first, then close it, and then do the gray after. You don't want anything from the black going up into the gray. It's just not sanitary. In here we've got everything you need: gloves, plumbing stuff. This is a hose for fresh water, so you can hook up to their water, and there's 2 hoses with a Y, so you can have an extra hose for around camp for washing feet off or anything like that. This is your plug. I've got a couple different adapters in here too, but this circle head right here is going to hook up right here. and then and it kind of goes on at a little angle and then twists on, and then you screw it on, and then you can hook it up to the camp shore power. And I have an adapter too for a 120 outlet if you're like at somebody's house and you just needed to do some power. But keep in mind, if you have it hooked up to 120, that air conditioner might not be enough to power the air conditioner. It might need more than that. So this is kind of your electrical and plumbing sections here. I've got an extra extension cord in there too if you need it. All right, now let's talk stabilizer jacks. These are your stabilizer jacks when you're at your campsite, or you're you know, if you're just stealth camping for the night, like at a rest stop, you don't really need to pop these down, but it'll just feel a little bouncy inside the camper. But once you're at a campsite, you want a nice sturdy house to hang out in. That's where you're going to use that power drill or that hand crank. Drop these down. These are not meant to like lift the whole trailer. They're not jacks like to change a tire, but they're meant for stabilization. So once you kind of get them down to the ground, you see the trailer lift like an inch. That's all you really need. So try to get your trailer stabilized as much as possible with your parking job first. You know, I even have boards of wood, so if the lot you're on is a little slanted, maybe put a couple boards of wood on the lower side and back up onto the board of wood. That way your stable jacks don't have to do so much work. Let's see, what else should we talk about here? So, all right, here's your entrance. You got these stairs, they fold up and lock in. They're adjustable here. You can see on the side, there's these little levers. So if it's kind of uneven, you can set it up so it's a nice fit and setup. This, when you close the door, you'll notice this little, the catch plate was making it hard to shut the door, so I took it off. So when you do shut it, just push from here where your hand is. Don't like push down here in the middle or over there. Just give a nice little push right there, and now it's secure. And you can lock it from the outside or inside once you're in. Oh, and once the door is closed, for extra security, you can kind of pop that there. But the door is very secure. All right, let's go inside for a sec. So here's your board. This is where you can control a lot of stuff. You can see battery is 2/3 full because I've had it hooked up and it's been running the fridge. So it can kill the battery quick if you're not hooked up to your car that's running or hooked up to shore. So keep that in mind. Once you start driving, that'll fill the battery back up in no time. Your black tank. I have fluid in the black tank. Each tank is 37 gallons. So there's about 10 gallons in there right now with some solution in there, which is good. You want that kind of sloshing around with the solution. Black tank is the toilet, by the way, if you didn't know. Gray is just the runoff water from the sink and the shower. Same thing, I've got some solution in there. So it kind of keeps it clean as you go down the road. Fresh is empty. No need to carry all that extra weight while you're driving. This is the awning button. I highly suggest only using the awning when you are stable and camping. Press it out, press it in. Just make sure you roll it back in the same configuration. Like, if don't roll it all the way out, just roll it out so it's still got a foot to go before rolling it all the way out. When you're rolling it out and in, the door needs to be here, because if the door is all the way open, as you see, it blocks the awning. And be very weary of opening the awning on windy days, because it can just blow over the top of the trailer and break very quickly. So that's a common thing that happens. You got a couple different lights. You got your JBL Bluetooth, which is fun. You're gonna want, you've got a water pump here. If you're not hooked up to water, if the water's not hooked up at the campsite and you're just running off the tanks, turn the water pump on so you get pressure to run the sink or the shower. There's a gas water heater or an electric water heater. I usually try not to waste the gas for any reason. If I'm hooked up to electric, I go with the electric water heater. Up here is your fan and your AC. Try to only use these functions if you are hooked up to shore power. So, because this draws the most power, and you can basically blow the fuse if that happens. So stay hooked up to shore power to do that. Under here, I've got your trash, cleaning supplies. We've got utensils. You got plates, bowls, cooking things, all kinds of stuff you can use. Microwaves over here. Refrigerators here. Looking good. All right, in here we got the bathroom. When you use the toilet, it's good. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of water in there. It's good to there's a paddle flush here. It's good to, after you use it, to just touch it a little bit so that enough water fills to cover that black ring. That way it kind of works as a natural trap. Shower over here. There's a push button right there where you can open this and vent it out if it's hot in here if you're using the shower. Cool. We got the bunk beds here, some backup towels and things like that in there. This couch, you can fold it out. Just do one of these, lift it and pull it out, and you'll be good. Got a coffee machine and an ice maker. If you don't use the coffee machine, trust me, the ice maker is awesome. So definitely consider plugging that in and using it. We got TV remotes in here, and if you go through some of the settings, actually behind the TV up here, there's a antenna button. You can push that and go through the settings, and you can do a channel search, and the antenna is actually pretty strong, so a lot of times you can pick up some channels and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. You do have the stove in here. You'd be the first person to use it. I don't think anybody, maybe in the winter time, that'd be the best time to use it. Other than that, nobody really wants to get it hot in here. Yeah, and if you have, let's see. Oh yeah, a couple other things. So over here, I've got an adjustable hitch if you wanted to use that. If you don't want to use it and you don't want to carry the weight, feel free to go, put it over by the garage or something like that. But it's definitely helpful in keeping your car and the trailer balanced. Got a couple of outdoor mats in here too, but an example of that is, this is the trailer and this is the car. You want them kind of looking like that once you're hooked up. You don't want to be like that, where they're both kind of angled up or both angled down like that, because then it kind of makes the driving a little feel imbalanced. So try to have those evened out when you're on a flat plane. And let's see, yeah, and this extra wood is good for for putting under stabilizer jack, putting under the wheels, or putting in the front like I did in this configuration. So call me anytime with any questions. I'm a police officer. I'm usually just on the road running a radar, so I've got all the time in the world to talk to you, or play on Instagram or something like that. So I'm free and I'm available for calls the whole weekend, or actually the whole week. You guys are going for a long trip. So when you get here, feel free to take pictures of the inside and outside for your own records. I'm going to do some now so I can get the booking process started. And I'm going to put the keys. Oh yeah, speaking of keys, so I showed you the black one that for that front lock there, but the purple, this is your key for access to the RV. So use the purple for the door. There's a couple of smaller keys. They're more for like these outer cargo boxes and stuff, which never in my life have I ever had to lock them, but I've heard Canada's pretty safe. And then there's a couple dents to point out if you want to take. I'm going to take a picture of them too, so they're not your fault or your problem. But here's one, and then there's a little one in the back too. Let's see. Oh yeah, very hard to see in this light, but there's a little one here too. Cool. So talk to you soon on the phone, and check out this video once you get time.